Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. The biggest buzzword around us is AI, artificial intelligence, and everybody wants to know how each of the industries in India are actually adopting AI at this point in time. The focus of our attention today in this special edition will be AI in the banking space to try and understand where are we at in this journey when it comes to AI adoption in the banking space and what do we see as the future outlook going forward. I have with me a very special guest joining in on this platform. And with me is Mr. Parag Bhise. He's the CEO of Nucleus Software. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time out for this conversation. Everybody is talking about AI adoption. And to begin with, I want to understand from you, when it comes to India, how do you see India in this entire race? Are we still pretty early in building native AI banking platforms? Or, have we made significant progress there? Where are we at currently, sir?
So, Sakshi, I think while it may seem that India is late in embarking on the AI journey, that's what is probably the narrative getting built. Many people in India may also believe that, but I think fundamentally we are much, much stronger. Of course, India's technological capability is well known in the world. Even if in the past we seem to be lacking in technology, we have made quantum leaps, and like telephony is a good example. We straightway moved from landlines to mobiles, so that's we capable of doing that. And when I talk about fundamentals, few things come to my mind. One is, of course, the inherent technological capability. Second is the vast amount of data that we have. And in general, in India, we work on fundamentals. And that's when I talk about what we do as an organization, I'll also refer to that. So we work on fundamentals. And thus, it may seem that we are taking time, but then once we deliver, that speed is comparable to none. The other part we must not forget, and this is comes back from tradition, and I'm not sure how many people talk about it, but is our the language that we use, the ancient Sanskrit language that we use. It is, I think even NASA and other organizations have accepted it as a language which is most aligned to computing in general and AI specifically, and that strength we have. So the data strength, the language strength, and the inherent capability to adopt and move fast on technologies, I think makes it as India's movement.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Bhise, help us understand this. When it comes to digital payments or building scale when it comes to banking payments that we've been able to achieve at a large scale, it has been appreciated on a global footing. In many countries, people are trying to replicate our models as well. But when it comes to core AI-led platforms, are we still globally competitive there?
Well, I think we are, or if we are not also, we will very soon be. And I'll tell you why. Because one is you just cannot undermine the power of data. Whatever algorithms are there, whatever technology is there, the power of data, and we have all the data, and probably why the world is focusing on India is also because we have the data, right? So that is one part. The second part of your question is
the AI core platforms. So where are we at when we building it?
The second is in general, if we look at the entire world and specifically banking, if we talk about a lot of legacy systems there, but in a way, India was not very fast in automating the banking systems, but that also helped us. Again, I took the mobility example that the banking systems that we have in India, they are not as legacy as in the rest of the world. So countries that automated earlier, many of them are still living in that legacy, which is like mainframes and all, whereas we are already, if not the latest, but we are already, we're not that legacy. And hence for us, to move to the next generation of technology, which is open technology, AI-based composable architecture, is much, much more easier. A lot of our banks and finance companies are already on those model, and that is, I would say, thanks to also players like us who are providing that technology. But that's the reason I think we're absolutely not behind on that front.
Okay.
We are, if not in the forefront, we are definitely there.
Very much there. You talked about the legacy core banking system. The big perception is how can they become AI first? So that's what I want you to help us understand a tad bit. Will there be a structural change needed when we are talking about intelligent banking? Or is it easy to see that transformation from being legacy core banking to now AI first?
So two parts to it, and I can of course say what I feel about it, but absolute legacy, the mainframes and all that we are talking about, I'm not very sure if they will be able to architecturally adopt AI, because yes, on the face of it, on the surface, anyone can do it. There are a lot. AI is also such vast technology, so you can do a lot of things on the surface, and but fundamentally and architecturally, if you have to work on AI, and that's what I think will give the maximum benefits, then definitely I'll again say that India is poised at that threshold, because systems in India for sure are much advanced as compared to countries those automated decades earlier.
Okay. I also wanted to focus a little bit on to understand in what ways will AI materially change the banking experiences? Will it be able to change just the consumer experience at large? Will there be a change even at the unit economics, the cost to income ratios, the risks, the credit averages as well? How are you looking at that?
So I'll answer it in two parts. One is, of course, as I referred earlier, it's always easy to adopt any technology and put it on, as we say, on the front end, like the customer experience. Very important, but also relatively easier, because you can change certain things on the surface and give a good experience to the customer. And we are already seeing so many use cases of that, the chatbots and all. That is the first use cases of AI that came in, right? But that's not all. If we talk about more on the fundamental, and I can talk more comfortably about what we are involved in. You'd know, as a company, we focus in a relatively lesser number of areas, but we work very deeply in them. And that is, on one side is the lending ecosystem, the retail and corporate lending, and on the other side is, on the corporate side, it is like transaction banking, as we call it. So if I were to talk about the use cases in this, so in credit decisioning,
yes,
when banks acquire customers, credit decisioning is one very important factor.
Correct.
Now, and that traditionally that takes the maximum time, because there are a lot of parameters you have to go through, and then you have to validate. In earlier times, even field checks has to be there. The people used to visit the customer's home or shops or establishment to check. All that is now passé.
Okay.
Now so the use of AI in credit decisioning is there already. We also have built in some use cases, and that's where it will give banks a quantum leap, because the time to market, as we say, will reduce a lot. That is one area. A second, of course, is fraud detection.
Yes.
So lots of it. When you become a digital economy and billions of transactions happen digitally, of course, the chances of fraud also increase, because there are some set of people who are wanting to make money through that.
Yeah, cyber
so that
attacks
is
you're seeing.
absolutely. So that is the second area. The third area is on the recovery management or collections, because in the area that we operate, the lending that I talked about, you acquire the customers, then you service the customers, and there is a percentage of customers who don't pay up, either because of some challenges that they face or because intentionally they don't want to pay. And that's called the recovery management or collection. So even there, the use of AI is quite prominent to assess customer behavior. Like I'll give you an example that calls are being made to customers to make the payment. So there are technologies, AI-based technologies called sentiment analysis, which interpret what the customer is saying versus what they are actually meaning. You know, what one could be saying on the face of it could be very different than what we are meaning. So AI helps us, banks, to figure that out. And hence they can refine their collection strategies. So these are the few use cases which are like not on the surface, but
very much inside the core operations there. So you rightly pointed out, and as we are beginning to see that AI is influencing credit decisions, it is influencing fraud detection, collections as well. But then at that point in time, I want to ask you, how do you really balance innovation and accountability at the same time?
Well, very, very valid questions, very important questions. And I think, and I'll go back to the first question that you asked, whether India is there or we are late. And I think India in general, as an organization also, we took time, and I think the government in India also took time to really understand what this technology is all about. And the focus on transparency, the focus on explainability, which are big problems when we talk about AI, right? The discrimination that you talk about, because if the data is not balanced, the results are not going to be the balance. So how to explainable AI, transparency in AI is these things are, and that is what it's very heartening to see that the government, the regulators are focusing on this.
Yeah.
In addition to promoting technology, so they're saying you promote technology, adopt technology, but not irresponsibly. Adopt it with responsibility, so that the end customers get benefited and they are not at a loss.
Right. In the end, I want to understand from you, Mr. Bhise, when you look through the future lens, can you help us understand, in the world we are going to be looking forward that is largely going to be dominated by such disruptive technologies, in the banking system at large, will the most valuable banks in future be the ones with the most branches, or will it shift to the ones which have the most intelligent platforms?
I think these questions are probably best answered by the bankers, but I can make an intelligent guess. I would say combination of both, because in a country like India, and for the next few years, I would say, I think we should not visualize a situation where there are no branches or very less. In fact, all banks are many large banks are our customers, and when we talk to them, they are aggressively opening branches even today.
Okay.
Because the rural, remote places where the end customers are still not so digital savvy, where they do not still have access to technology, to networks. Banking is all about trust, and that strata of society will take time to trust technology, though they are also moving very fast. So in the near future, I don't see that branches will vanish or come down, but it's going to be a very balanced mix of both. That's what I'll say.
Balanced mix of both, and probably in the future we are going to be seeing more and more human-less banking systems at large, smoothly functioning, largely AI-driven, technology-driven at large as well. Many thanks to you, Mr. Bhise.
Thank you so much
for being with us. Of course, it's our pleasure to have you with us and to seek such wonderful insights. Everybody is still trying to decipher the world of AI and how it's going to be really changing our world, our own experiences at large. And you've really been able to help us understand what's going to happen in the banking space. How do we really understand that, at least at this stage?
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me here. It's been a lovely conversation.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, sir.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.